this would be like my healing chapter.
I was really excited about that.
A lot of wounds are being closed and aided at this point, and the wounds are being nurtured as well and closed up for good, you know. So I think for me, this is my chapter of healing.
The world was shocked when it all went public. What had once been a beautiful, admired love story between Iman Shumpert and Teyana Taylor had taken a dramatic and painful turn. From the outside, it seemed like a regular breakup, a couple that had spent years together, raised a daughter, and been part of one of the most iconic Hollywood duos. But behind the scenes, something far darker was brewing. Iman and Teyana had always been in the public eye, admired for their love and chemistry. They seemed perfect for each other. The talented basketball player and the powerhouse singer and actress, both with incredible careers and family life. But now, they were standing at the precipice of a legal battle that no one could have predicted. When news broke that Teyana Taylor had moved on with actor Aaron Pierre, the emotional fallout from this decision was immediate. Iman, devastated by the breakup and seemingly unable to accept her moving on, shocked everyone when he took the bold step of taking Teyana to court. This wasn't just a battle over money or assets, it was about control, custody, and emotional pain. The love they once shared now seemed like a distant memory, replaced with tension, anger, and a struggle for what each of them felt was rightfully theirs. But what caused it to go this far? Why did Iman go to court? And how is Teyana handling the shocking turn of events? Iman had been caught off guard by the news of Teyana's new relationship. The public announcement, the photos, the media frenzy, it all hit him like a ton of bricks. What had seemed like a peaceful separation, something manageable and civil, quickly escalated. In interviews, Iman openly admitted that it wasn't just about their marriage falling apart, it was about Teyana moving on so quickly, and with someone as high profile as Aaron Pierre. To Iman, this wasn't just a betrayal of their relationship, it was a slap in the face. Teyana was no longer just his ex-wife. She was with someone else, and that someone had a significant place in the media spotlight. This, for Iman, became more than just a personal hurt. It felt like a public attack, and he wasn't willing to sit idly by. Iman's decision to take Teyana to court wasn't just about custody of their daughter. It was about emotional distress, property, and, most of all, the devastation he felt seeing Teyana with Aaron Pierre. He claimed the emotional toll of the breakup had been unbearable and that Teyana's swift relationship with Aaron had caused him irreparable harm. Iman's lawsuit wasn't just a legal maneuver, it was an emotional cry for validation. He felt that his life, his family, and everything he had worked for had been stolen from him, and he needed to reclaim control in the only way he knew how, through the courts. His legal action was meant to convey more than just a legal claim, it was about emotional damage and pain. The court documents were filled with words of anguish, detailing how Iman's world had been turned upside down and how he wasn't just going to accept it. On the other side of this legal battle was Teyana, who had been blindsided by Iman's decision to go to court. While she had moved on with Aaron Pierre, she never imagined it would come to this. She hadn't expected Iman to drag their personal lives through the courtroom. She was already dealing with the emotional weight of her breakup and her new relationship, but now, with Iman suing her for custody and emotional distress, the burden grew even heavier. Teyana, who had always been fiercely private about her personal life, was now forced to navigate a public battle. Her relationship with Aaron Pierre only added fuel to the fire. Fans were already speculating about her motives, accusing her of moving on too quickly. For Teyana, this wasn't just about Iman anymore. It was about her ability to live her life without being dragged into legal warfare. Teyana's emotional state during this time was hard to ignore. She was hurt, and her pain was visible in her interviews. Teyana had loved Iman deeply, and the breakup wasn't easy for her either. The decision to move on with Aaron wasn't made lightly, but the speed with which things had progressed, and the fallout from it, took a toll on her mental and emotional well-being. She had always been a fighter, always strong for herself and her daughter, but this was different. Being publicly sued by her ex-husband for emotional distress, and dragged into a custody battle, left her questioning everything. Her love for Aaron was real, But this situation had turned into a whirlwind of pain and anger. Their relationship, which had once been built on love, shared dreams, and public affection, was now crumbling under the weight of legal drama and painful realities. What had once seemed like the perfect union, admired by fans and respected by those who followed their journey, was now falling apart in the harsh light of the courtroom. The emotional fallout was inescapable, and neither side was immune to the destructive forces at play. The love that had once bonded Iman and Teyana now felt like a distant memory, lost in the chaos of their personal and legal battles. For Iman, the emotional toll of watching Teyana move on with someone else was undeniable. The love he had for her hadn't completely faded, despite the broken pieces of their relationship. It was as if his heart was still clinging to the idea of what they had once shared, unable to let go completely. Seeing Teyana with Aaron Pierre, someone who was now part of her life, felt like the ultimate betrayal. It was a deep wound that Iman struggled to heal, each image of them together cutting through his already fragile emotions. The anger, confusion, and heartbreak he felt were all compounded by the pain of knowing that someone else had taken his place in her life. For Teyana, the legal battle with Iman was a painful reminder of everything that had gone wrong between them. What had once been a love story filled with shared dreams and promises of a future together was now reduced to a bitter courtroom war. It wasn't just about the legalities, it was about the heartache, the resentment, and the deep emotional scars that both of them carried. Teyana had moved on, but the weight of the situation still lingered. She couldn't escape the feeling of being caught in a battle she never wanted, forced to relive the moments of their relationship that had turned sour. Her connection with Aaron Pierre, while new, was now clouded by the tension of the ongoing legal dispute, and it was hard for her to fully embrace this new chapter without the past constantly creeping in. The relationship between Iman and Teyana had always been one of the most public in the entertainment world. Their love story, followed by millions, had now turned into a spectacle of legal drama and emotional turmoil. What had once been an admired partnership was now a painful, drawn-out conflict that had affected not just the couple, but their families as well. Each side believed in their version of the truth, and each was convinced that they were protecting someone they loved. The emotional toll on both families was undeniable, and as the case progressed, it was clear that no one was walking away from this unscathed. But the biggest emotional blow came from their daughter. The custody battle wasn't just about Iman and Teyana, it was about their child's future. Who would she live with? Who would be her primary caretaker? Both Iman and Teyana wanted to provide a stable home for their daughter, but the battle for custody had put everything in jeopardy. The emotional impact on their daughter was something that couldn't be ignored. Both parents loved their child more than anything, but now they were fighting each other in a way that could harm her future. Meanwhile, the fans were left to speculate. Some sided with Iman, empathizing with the pain he felt from the betrayal. Others sided with Teyana, seeing her move on as a natural progression after a difficult breakup. Fans flooded social media with opinions, theories, and wild speculations about what was really going on. Was Aaron Pierre the real reason behind the breakup? Or was there something deeper that no one knew? Was Iman's decision to sue Teyana a cry for help, or was it a calculated move to hurt her emotionally? Fans dissected every piece of the story, offering their theories and eagerly awaiting the next twist. The growing tension between Iman and Teyana reached a boiling point when Teyana publicly addressed the situation for the first time. Her statement was filled with raw emotion, and for the first time, she explained how deeply hurt she was by Iman's decision to take her to court. She didn't just discuss their breakup, she talked about the pain of being dragged through the courts, about the emotional cost it had on her and her family. In her statement, Teyana also addressed her relationship with Aaron Pierre, explaining that her feelings for him were real, and not some way of getting back at Iman. She didn't owe anyone an explanation, but she gave one anyway, because she knew that her heart was on the line. Iman's response came soon after, and it was just as emotional. He explained why he had filed the lawsuit and how much the emotional distress had taken a toll on him. He didn't just want to hurt Teyana, he wanted to make sure that his rights as a father weren't being overlooked. The fight wasn't just about him losing Teyana, it was about everything that he had lost, and everything he was afraid of losing. He had always been protective of his family, but now, he was fighting to reclaim his own sense of stability. With every statement, Every piece of the legal battle that was exposed, the emotional stakes grew. It was no longer just about Iman and Teyana, it was about their future, their daughter's future, and the emotional wreckage left in the wake of their relationship's collapse. As the case continued, one thing became clear: this was a battle that would change both of them forever. What would happen next? Could they find a way to move forward as co-parents, or would the legal battle continue to escalate? Fans were left on edge, desperate for answers.